Hey everybody, said I was going to do this yesterday. I did not. It's been a lazy weekend for me, but here, one day late, is the ever-awaited episode 11 of Road Signs. Um, okay, thought that's been processing with me ever since Raw, and I knew it would process right through SmackDown as well, so I didn't bother saying anything about it after Raw was over. But we've reached the critical point leading up to any pay-per-view. And when I say critical, I don't mean it as a good thing. Now, you start tossing out the main event matches for a pay-per-view, and people start getting interested. Not so much for Cena Miz, but definitely Orton and Punk. People are looking forward to. If you're anything like me, Triple H and Undertaker is very, very intriguing. Edge and Del Rio. Like I say, I don't exactly want Del Rio in the main event, but it should be a good match, as much as I hate to admit it. So you get a whole bunch of really good matches that people are looking forward to, and people start thinking, hey, WrestleMania is going to be good, it's not going to bomb. Now we've passed the point where the matches are out there, and now the stories leading up to them have to do with anybody but the people in them. I'm sorry, if it's a one-on-one match, it should not involve anybody else. This very much ties into what I've ranted about before with, special referees and, other people that want to be involved being on commentary and shit like that. It's just because as soon as it does that, John Cena being the special referee for Orton and Wade Barrett was the most blatant example in 2010 that I can think of, and as we all know, in TNA, they do it way too much. But welcome back to the WWE, and I'm going to explain to you what I mean, and I'm going to give you the examples. Cena and The Miz. I'm not looking forward to this match to begin with, because what I would love to see is Miz just walk in there and own Cena. But we all know Super Cena is going to win. He's going to get the belt back, and that's going to be that. But now, who else is involved in this? With The Miz, Michael Cole is always a potential to get involved because, Michael Cole's whole heel turn hinged on him buddying up with The Miz. You've got Alex Riley, who, although he's not technically Miz's protege anymore, thanks to what happened on Raw in the cage match, he's going to be pissed off about something, and The Rock is going to be somehow involved. Now, I said right after the Elimination Chamber, and I said right after The Rock and John Cena started having their little war of words, Morrison should have won the Elimination Chamber last month. Morrison and Miz could have had a decent title match at WrestleMania. People would have been into the match, and John Cena could have gone off and done whatever he did with The Rock. Now you've got Cena, who we all know is just going to walk in there, sweep up the belt, and somewhere in the middle there's going to be some bullshit with The Rock. So you've got Miz, who's up and coming, and in a match that nobody really cares about because we already know what the answer is going to be. We've got a bunch of fans that want to see Cena fight The Rock, including myself, because I want to see Cena get owned by The Rock. And you got Morrison, who got lost in the shuffle. Now, Morrison, Rock, Riley, Michael Cole, there's more people involved in the outside of this match than there is in it. That's my first example. Second example is Lawler and Cole. Now, it came to me I'm not even going to lie to you, about an hour ago, what this match is. We have this match because we don't have Vince McMahon in a match this year. Now, look at the history of WrestleMania. The only thing that is as predictable as Undertaker's winning streak is Vince McMahon's losing streak. He came in, he fought Hogan, he fought Brett, he fought Shawn, and he came in there like a nut bar, and everybody hated him. And I'm sorry, despite his lack of actual wrestling skills, Vince McMahon is the best heel the WWE's ever had. So we all tune in to see him get owned. Now, we don't need that this year because we have Michael Cole, who has surpassed Vince McMahon in his heelness, not because he's particularly good at anything, but because people just want him to shut the fuck up. Now you have this match with Lawler and Cole, where by all means Lawler should walk in there, wipe the mat with him, have a quick 5 or 6 seconds in the WrestleMania sun, and ride off into the sunset. But no, now we have all this bullshit. Michael Cole's only going to accept the match if he can have a trainer in his corner and pick the referee and da-da-da-da. And they announced his trainer, or the guy who's going to be in his corner, to be Jack Swagger, who's like twice the size of Lawler. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he dwarfs Lawler, and we still don't know even who the special ref is. I mean, like, and again, you go back to what I said a minute ago. Who all has Michael Cole been kissing ass to in the WWE in the past little while? His special referee could be Dolph Ziggler, Vicky Guerrero, either two of the members from Lay Cool. I don't know, Miz himself could be this one, and it's going to be retarded. It's going to be like Vince and Brett last year, where there was no actual beatdown. There was a lot of talking and a lot of people shuffling, and about 5 minutes of somebody getting their ass kicked. I don't get it. We move on to Orton and Punk, which, if these two are one-on-one, will have an amazing match. I was wishy-washy on Punk leading the new Nexus to begin with. I still am. But this match alone makes me wish that the Nexus did not fucking exist. Because I swear to God, let these two go, and I hope they make it into something friggin' retarded. Like, I don't know, 15-minute Iron Man match, or a hardcore match, or something like that, and let these two just go nuts, because they already are, aren't they? Yeah, but like, okay, now we have the Nexus in the next 4 weeks are all going to have matches with Orton to see if they're allowed to be at ringside. No, the referee should just sit there at WrestleMania as Punk is coming down to the ring and say, you, and you, fuck off. These guys need to have their match. That's what needs to happen, but that's not what's going to happen, is it? Undertaker and Triple H. Now, everybody said, before Undertaker and Triple H got signed on to WrestleMania to fight each other, everybody was swearing up and down a blue streak that Triple H and Sheamus were going to have a match at WrestleMania. And why? Why? No, just fucking Sheamus needs to fuck off. The only good thing Sheamus has done since he came to the WWE, sorry, my opinion, right down there if you don't agree, the only thing that Sheamus has done since he came to the WWE was have a half-decent rivalry with Morrison, and that was mostly because of Morrison. Yes, Morrison mark right here, but that doesn't change the fact that it's true. Now, the other thing that they did on Raw this past week was they had an interview with Shawn Michaels with his opinions of the Triple H Undertaker match. Now, if they were just doing that to give it context, to give a match that doesn't really have a storyline, some thickness and some legitimacy behind it, then that's cool. If they're doing this to slowly bring Shawn Michaels into the situation, like if he's going to be the special referee, or if Triple H starts going off on a tangent about, oh, I'm doing this to avenge my buddy Shawn, then it's going to be bullshit. HBK walked away last year. Let him do his thing. Let the WWE move forward. Incidentally, the promo that Triple H cut this past week basically said, I need to fight The Undertaker because me and him are the only ones left of our era. Now, Undertaker's been around a hell of a lot longer than Triple H. That exact promo, that exact set of reasoning would have been perfect for Shawn Michaels and Undertaker last year, rather than Shawn Michaels going all nuts and being obsessed with beating The Undertaker and then screwing him out of his world title and pissing him off. Which didn't make much sense at all, because it made Shawn Michaels a heel going into his last match. So the promo that Triple H pulled off this week, and the supposed reasoning behind him challenging The Undertaker, would have made more sense for Shawn Michaels last year, but it still kind of makes sense, because must they not walk around the locker room and feel like hired babysitters sometimes? I mean, you got guys like Jericho, you got guys like Edge that have been around a decent amount of time, and Kane, and whatever, but who that can headline WrestleMania has been around in the same time that they have? So, I can deal with it, I guess. Then we move on to Edge and Del Rio. Edge and Del Rio, I don't... as I said, I'm already not a fan of Del Rio being in the main event, but I can live with it. He won the Rumble, whatever. And the wild card in this match is Christian, because not only does Christian have his years and years and years of history with Edge, which is awesome, and, you know, back in the day, before they both hit it big, when they were a tag team, you know, we all, I won't say we all, I will say I marked out for all of them, because that was back in the days when they had really, really good tag teams, like the Hardys and the Dudleys and the APA and so on and so forth. But now, Christian is really, really good buddies with Edge, and he's also looking for revenge on Del Rio for fucking up his pec and shoulder and all that shit. So Christian will be the wild card in this match, and if the past couple of weeks are any indication, they're trying to throw Edge into a rivalry with Drew McIntyre. And I don't get it, because it's, like, way off track. I mean, Drew McIntyre could be good. Drew McIntyre, a lot of other people said it, and I think it was Mark Pearson, actually, that said, and I full-heartedly agree, Drew McIntyre wasn't really doing anything until he got to the Elimination Chamber, and then he just sort of pulled out his stop, and we all kind of said, wow, where the fuck did that come from? So I would say, after WrestleMania, let Edge give the time and the effort and the energy into Edge and Drew McIntyre having a full-on match, and let them, or a rivalry rather, and go on and do it. But don't try to start it while he's trying to get amped up to fight Del Rio at WrestleMania. It doesn't make much sense. So, like, Cena and The Miz have like 4 or 5 other people to worry about. Lawler and Cole have 3 or 4 other people to worry about. Orton has the whole Nexus to worry about. Triple H and Undertaker hopefully won't get involved with Sheamus or Shawn Michaels or anybody like that. Edge and Del Rio, Christian will be involved in that somehow, or Drew McIntyre. All these guys, except for The Rock, mind you, are all sort of people with no place to go, and my fear is they'll all just get tossed randomly into Money in the Bank, and Money in the Bank will be shitty again this year, but whatever. On the topic of Edge and Del Rio, I've come to the realization that Edge is more and more and more like The Undertaker as the years go on. There's not a whole lot of wrestlers that have 3 or 4 different maneuvers that can be called their finisher. And I was lining them up side by side the other night when I was taking notes and such. And you've got Taker, who has like the Tombstone and the Chokeslam and the Hell's Gate and the Last Ride. And it's been a progression over many, many years as to what he uses, but we come to WrestleMania, and he's always going to use the Tombstone because it just needs to happen. And then you've got Edge, who's got the Spear, who had the Impaler, who had that sort of reverse sharpshooter type submission that he has. I know they used to call it the Educator or the Executioner or something like that. I don't know what they're calling it. They're really not calling it anything right now. And he's also been using Christian's Unprettier or Kill Switch, or whichever name you want that to go by. Now, am I saying that Edge is the next Undertaker? Not right now. I don't really know what I'm saying. There's that parallel, and I wanted to throw it out there, and that's basically it. Now, something that just made me laugh, and I don't know whether this is a cocky American thing or what. I'm from Canada, by the way, for those people who don't know. Now, they had the contract signing for Edge and Del Rio on SmackDown, and these things are all... Teddy Long even said it in the ring. It's like, you know, wrestling has a history of bad things happening during contract signings, and it's like, so he's mocking the whole situation. And, but during the Edge Del Rio contract signing, I couldn't help but notice one simple thing. Edge is from up here in Canada. Del Rio's from Mexico. And the crowd is chanting USA. I got nothing. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? I mean, are they chanting it just to piss off Del Rio? Then obviously, but would you not? Then I don't fucking know. Little things that don't make sense. So that's really all I'm going to say about that. The Cody Rhodes and Rey Mysterio rivalry, I said originally that I wouldn't be very interested in seeing it. I might be a little more interested in it now. Cody Rhodes came out, he did his promo with his busted face and with the little face protector on or whatever, and he kind of sounds like, the way he's doing his promos now, he's kind of losing it. He's kind of lost his shit, and he's just nuts and snappy and kind of all over the place. Now, he came out with the mask on, and he came out with all the lights dimmed and whatever on SmackDown, tried to deliver his promo, and like I say, he's trying to sound nuts and like he's lost his shit. The way he delivered his promo was very effective. So much so that, and here is where I'm going to get more heat than I've ever gotten on this channel, it reminded me of Mankind. Just, you know, sort of hovering in the dark, don't look at me, I've got my mask on, I'm going to be shielding my face, I'm going to hover in the dark, in the corner, in the shadows, and just kind of sound like I've lost it, like I'm one biscuit short of a basket. So yeah, I just compared Cody Rhodes to Mankind, so bring on the heat, because I know it's going to come. Alright, that's that. That's all the WrestleMania. That's all the WrestleMania stuff I have to say right now. Now, I've done something. Thirsty. Don't mind me. I've done something, because I've had two different people say to me that they like, what the fuck, why does my phone go off when I'm trying to make a video? Don't do it. Anyways, I've had two different people come to me on this channel and say that my channel fucks up a lot and they can only watch certain videos and such and so forth. And so I got to thinking, not everybody has a YouTube account, not everybody subscribes, not everybody can apparently watch my videos anyway, because apparently they're glitching a lot. So what I have done, not that I think I'm uber important or anything like that, but for those of you that are interested, I've also... Yeah, it's late and I'm dropping things. Doomy Clipboard of Doom is on the floor now. I have made, for those of you that are on Facebook, I have made a fan page type thing for this channel, and there's what it's called. You just look up Spaz Phoenix, Spaz's wrestling commentary channel, in the search bar up in the top, or I'll post a link to it at the bottom when I load this up. Basically, it's a Facebook equivalent of this page. You're not going to find anything there that you won't find here, but for you, those of you that are on Facebook and would maybe have it easier, just have it pop up in your feed or whatever, I have done that. If you want to add yourself to that as well, please go for it. Now, on to something a little more personal. As a lot of you can gauge from hearing me talk and hearing me say what I have to say, I'm not a very hard person to excite. And I don't mean anything rude by that. I just mean, like, when I started doing this, I had no subscribers for like 2 months. I only started this channel back last SummerSlam, I think. So it hasn't been that long. I went for a month, I think, with no subscribers. I went for a month and a half. After that, I had like 1 or 2, and I was excited to have 1 or 2 subscribers. And then, yes, like a mark for myself, I did actually post a video up when I hit 10 subscribers. I might even do it because when I hit 20 subscribers, because I'm almost there. I do not have a big following, big throng of people. But you know what? I have a handful of people that seem to like what I have to say, that seem to like to respond to what I have to say. And that's all I really want, because I'm doing this for the hell of it. So I'm a very, very easy person to please. But with the first subscriber, with the first 10 subscribers, with the first 20 subscribers, comes another I don't know whether you want to call it a landmark or whatever. My first hater, my first little bit of bad reaction. Now, I'm the last anybody that knows me, which is I think 1 or 2 of my 18 subscribers, will tell you I'm the last person that's going to censor anybody. And I mean that. If you got something to say to me, say it. If I've fucked up somewhere, or if I've misquoted something, or if I've given a bad stat, or I just posted a video that was absolute shit, absolutely, honestly, call my shit on it, honestly. If you've just got a random insult that you want to throw at me because you think it's a really good insult, if it's a really good one, go ahead and do it. I really don't care. But this guy, and I'm not even going to bother going through my email and looking up this guy's name, because it's not worth it. But just don't throw me some random shit. What I had 2 weeks ago, and I wasn't going to say anything about it, I had somebody, like I say, about 2 weeks ago, go through sort of every other one of my road signs videos and write the same thing at the bottom of every video. Is that fat nerd mark loser? 4 words, 1 line, copy and pasted across, I don't know, maybe 10 vids. No, that's a lie. Maybe 6 or 7. Now, that he tried to insult me, or he or she or whoever tried to insult me, isn't the point. Like I say, if you want to toss me a really good insult, if it's a really good one, I'm going to come online, pop up a video and say, look, that was really good. Applause. Or if you want to call me on my shit, then do it. But don't throw me some cheap, lame-ass shit. And I mean, just because it's my first hater, I'm going to have some fun with this. Now, fat nerd mark loser. This is the brilliance that came from whoever decided to comment on my channel that day. So let's look at it. Let's dissect the brilliance of this, will we not? Fat. Holy shit! Holy shit! I'm not a skinny guy. Look at that. I am not a skinny guy. And I will never say that I am, but you know what? Somehow, despite being this incredibly horrid thing known as fat by this guy, I mean, I could come up with some more negative adjectives for myself. Okay, so, I really don't care. Personally, I'm a big guy. I could be smaller. I'm aware of this. It hasn't stopped me from having a fun life. It hasn't stopped me from coming on this rather sketchy webcam and talking to all of you. So my reaction to that is, so what? You have eyes. You notice the obvious. Good for you. Then we come to nerd. Now, let's flash back to high school for a second. We all know, despite the fact that most of us hated it and most of us knew that it was wrong, we all fell into categories in high school. And I say high school because there's no way that this is an adult that wrote this. Either in mind or in body, this was a child that wrote this. You have the goths, you have the rockers, you have the skaters and the punks, and in fact, the nerds. I am, like, back in high school, you were a nerd if you were smart, you were a nerd if you were getting straight A's, and I guarantee you, my hand to my chest, I was not getting straight A's in anything in high school. So, that definition definitely doesn't work. And as we go through later in life, a nerd just becomes anybody that enjoys something, doesn't it? You know, the common ones are Star Trek nerds, Star Wars nerds, nerds that play Magic, nerds that go online and play role-playing games, or World of Warcraft, or anything. Anything can be turned into a nerd, can it? I mean, anybody that doesn't understand what we all love will call us wrestling nerds, and anybody watching this that is a wrestling fan knows that. So yeah, I'm a nerd. So either they're calling me really, really intelligent, which, thank you, but I'm not going to accept that, or B, they're just saying that I enjoy something, and everybody enjoys something, so basically they're calling me human. So far, they have great powers of observation, and they're calling me human. Alright, next word is mark. Mark is a fun word, isn't it? I never heard the word mark overused so much since I've started using YouTube, or projecting on YouTube, rather. I am a mark, and you know what? Every single time I'm a mark, I admit it. Anybody that watches my channels knows I'm a John Morrison mark. I'm a Jeff Hardy mark. What else could I say? There's nothing else really out here right now. I have a whole bunch of t-shirts that are obviously all in the wash while I'm trying to make a point. Let's take it out of the context of wrestling. I'm a Linkin Park mark. I'm a Disturbed mark. I'm going to see Buck Cherry and Papa Roach this coming Saturday. I am a Buck Cherry mark, I suppose. I spend a lot of time watching The Simpsons and South Park and Family Guy and The Cleveland Show. I guess I'm a cartoon mark. If I could detach this camera right now and show you around my room, I have a very extensive DVD collection. I have entire sections for horror and vampire and werewolf movies and zombie movies, and I have the entire Saw series. So let's say I'm a fucked up movie mark. Again, a mark is just somebody that gets some pleasure from something. And you want to go more technical, somebody who marks out. And yes, I will back in the wrestling context, I will pop for a spot fest just as much as I will for a wrestling psychology classic, and I'm guilty. And you know what? That's okay too, because I like something, and everybody likes something. So again, I'm human. And the last one is loser, which is just lazy, isn't it? Now, like I say, I don't have the time or the bother to look up this guy's name, so I can tell you who he was. But I went to his channel the day I got all these comments, and his channel had a YouTube commercial, which I've never seen before, and a Google commercial in their posted stuff, like not in their favorites, not something that they found and said, click, I like that. No, they obviously took 2 commercials and reposted them. So this guy that has nothing, or girl, or whatever, that has absolutely nothing to do but throw lazy insults at me, is calling me a loser. You'll excuse me if I've decided they don't have the credentials to make that judgment. I am going to stop being negative right now. This has been Road Signs episode 11 with a little bit extra. Once again, people on Facebook, Spaz Phoenix, Spaz's Wrestling Commentary Channel, that's what you want to look up in your little Facebook blue search bar. I'm also going to put a link down at the bottom. I have been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, and let me know what you think. Have a good night, guys.